Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is V-Dub here, and welcome back to the Indiana Hoosiers Dynasty here on YouTube. As you just saw that in the last video, Northwestern defeated the Hoosiers 33-20. The Hoosiers are still winless in league play, or Big Ten play right now, with a 1-5 overall record. But in this episode, we are going to go into recruiting and see how recruiting has gone so far. So without further ado, it's time to see where we stand as far as some of the recruits.
And now for the players that are still on our recruiting board right now, going by position, we're going to start off with quarterback Zach Ornstein. He has us as his top school. We, as well as Purdue, have offered him a scholarship. However, he does have a visit coming up in Week 8, which is the homecoming game against Nebraska. And we go down to Adrian Brent now, who also has Indiana as a top school, and we are the only school to offer him a scholarship to this point. So looks like we're in good shape to land at least one of the two quarterbacks. Hopefully we get both of them. In the halfback position, we have Steve Moncrief, the only commit so far for the Hoosiers out of Indianapolis. He committed a couple of weeks ago on the last recruiting video on an Insta commit. And then we have LaMichael Azuma with Indiana as his top school. However, Purdue, Western Michigan, and Miami of Ohio are behind us, and they also have offered. Northwestern is barely on his top 5, but they have not offered him a scholarship, and the Hoosiers are the only school to schedule him for a visit to this point. He'll also be at the Week 8 game against Nebraska. In the fullback position, we have Javier Wilson, the only school in the top 3. He has this as number 1. We're the only school to offer him a scholarship. He'll also be in at Week 8. It almost looks like that he's going to become a Hoosier. So it looks like we'll have another cool cat coming in pretty soon. In the wide receiver position, this is going to be a little more interesting as we have Dennis Breeze. He has this as number 2. Western Michigan, the school that just jumped ahead, they also offered him a scholarship, as well as us. Well, he does have a visit Week 8 coming up for us. Maybe we'll sway him to come to us for the 2-star wide receiver out of Brookville, Indiana. Maybe we'll keep him in state. Taylor Pujaid, the 3-star wide receiver from Illinois. We're the only school to offer him a scholarship to this point, as he has as number 1. We have yet to get him a chance to visit. Or hopefully the next week we'll have him come in and visit. We have Robert Hickson, number 1 school. However, we've offered him, as well as Western Michigan and Boise State. However, he has scheduled visits for Week 14 and Week 10 at Boise, Week 14 at Western Kentucky. Juan Atwell, we have him as his number 1 school, and we have offered him a scholarship to this point. Jerry Carney, who, by the way, has us in his top 10, a JUCO sophomore from Indianapolis, the 3-star wide receiver, somebody that we replaced on the recruiting board, somebody who I think can help us, as he's a deep threat receiver. He has us in his top 10. Nobody has yet to offer him a scholarship to this point, and we have yet to scout him, so hopefully we'll be able to scout him soon. And as far as offensive tackles go, we got Garrison Sanders, who's set to visit us Week 8. He's down to his top 3 schools of Indiana, Miami, Ohio, and Purdue. All 3 have offered a scholarship, and we are the only school that has scheduled him for a visit right now. And we have Kevin Campanaro, another right tackle that we just added to the recruiting board. We are number 4 on his list. Bowling Green is the only school, his top school so far, that has offered him a scholarship. We have yet to scout him, so hopefully we can get onto that in the next week or so and have an update on it later on in this episode. And we have the right guard, Joseph Rust, out of Columbus, Ohio. And us, as well as Toledo, have offered him a scholarship. We have him at number 1. We're close to being his top 3 school. He does have a Week 8 visit coming up against Nebraska. Again, homecoming. I'm trying to schedule a lot of people for the homecoming week. And we go down to now the defensive tackle, as we have Lamar Crick, the 2-star defensive tackle out of Joliet, Illinois. we are number 1 on his list, and we're the only school to offer a scholarship to this point. And the same could be said for Jeff Frost, the 2-star defensive tackle out of Youngstown, Ohio. We're number 1 on his list, and we're the only school to offer him a scholarship to this point. And another person that we just added the last couple weeks was the left outside linebacker, Isaac Darisaw. We are number 2 on his list. Purdue is ahead of us. Both schools have offered him a scholarship. However, no school has yet to schedule him for a visit. We're hoping to get that pretty soon. And in the middle linebacker position, we have Dom Marshall. We're number 2 to Toledo. Both have offered scholarships. Nobody has yet to give him a visit. Dion Jolly, who we have yet to fully scout, but we're in his top 10, and nobody has yet to offer a scholarship. And we have free safety Shakir Pitts, who is on Indiana, has a number 1 school, and he is the 2-star free safety out of Brownsburg, Indiana. We have offered a scholarship to this point. The only one in the top 5. We have yet to get a scheduled visit for him. Hopefully we will soon. And then here's the guy that we kind of want to now go after we fully scouted him. Free safety Alfonso Heap, a 2-star free safety out of Muskegon, Michigan. And you can see over here the green gem, the only gem that we have scouted so far, and nobody has yet to offer him a scholarship, even though we are in his top 10. We're hoping to get that soon. And lastly, we have Mitch Cheeks, at least out of the skill position players. We have Mitch Cheeks, 2-star strong safety out of Springfield, Illinois. We are number 1 on his list. We have offered a scholarship. Miami of Ohio, though, has jumped up to number 2 on his list. So we need to get something going. Maybe start throwing the house at him when we get the hours to do that. And we're hoping that we can get him to land him, because he's the only strong safety that we need right now. And lastly for this week, we have Brad Dalton, the 2-star punter out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Doesn't look like anybody's going to catch him right now. Looks like he's going to be heading to us pretty soon. Hopefully we'll get him, because we do need a punter. We did offer him a scholarship. We may, if we get hours, give him some hours, like sell the house and stuff coming back after we get enough hours. Maybe we'll get some recruits that finally commit that will help us out with the hours and stuff. As we advance the week, we do have one commit, our second commit actually, and that is fullback Javier Wilson from Radcliffe, Kentucky. The 3-star fullback is committed to us. Meanwhile, we got wide receiver Robert Hickson as our number 1 school still, as he's reached his top 3, as well as right guard Joseph Russ, the 2-star right guard out of Columbus, Ohio. And unfortunately, we have Dennis Breeze, the 2-star wide receiver out of Brookville, Indiana, decided he wants to go to Western Michigan. You little jerk. And now looking at the recruiting board leading into the game against Nebraska after the bye week, as we see Zach Ornstein still on the top of the list. Same with Adrian Brent at the quarterback position. In the halfback position, as I said, Steve Moncrief has committed to us. However, we do have Michael Azuma is scheduled to visit us. However, update on that, Western Michigan also not only offered but also scheduled him for a week 11 visit. And as I mentioned before, our fullback Javier Wilson, a 3-star recruit from Radcliffe, Kentucky, has committed to Indiana, our second commit. And now looking over at the wide receiver position, Taylor Pajade, however you pronounce his name. We have offered him. Ryan Hickson, we have yet to be able to schedule him for a visit yet. However, we are down to the top 3, and I believe we still have a home game ahead of those visits actually no, we might have one home game ahead of I think, after the Boise State visit. Juan Atwell, somebody we kind of want to try to come get over here, a JUCO from Winnetka, Illinois. Jerry Carney, who we have started scouting actually, And Landry Johnson, who we just added to the recruiting board, we are number 3 on his list. Nobody has yet to offer him, so when we start getting points on the board for him, we're going to start getting him. Because I kind of want to land him as well. I want to land all these wide receivers. And we have the offensive tackle here. As I said, Garrison Sanders is set to visit us coming up this week, but he now has visits for Miami of Ohio the following week and Purdue in week 12. And we're finally able to get Kevin Campanaro, who, besides us, has offered, besides us offering, Bowling Green has also offered, we have thrown 25 hours into him to this point. That is basically contacting his family. And the right guard, Joseph Rust, also scheduled us to visit us for this upcoming game against Nebraska. We have offered him as well as Toledo. And now we have defensive tackle Lamar Crick, who we actually now have scheduled for week 9 against Washington the following week. We were able to actually throw some points into him as we sold the house to him. As well as Jeff Frost, who's also scheduled to visit us for the Washington game. The 2-star defensive tackle out of Youngstown, Ohio. We also threw the house at him as far as points goes. And we were able to now switch Isaac Darisaw from I believe it was 15 points to now 50 points as we're throwing the house at him. We offered him a scholarship, and we're trying to get him to not go to Purdue and come to us. Don Marshall, as we threw the house at him, the middle linebacker out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We're still number 1 on his list, and Toledo is now starting to fall from his list here, but we still do not have enough to get him to visit because he still has a top 8. You need to officially have your top 5 in order for us to schedule a visit. Dion Jolly, we were actually able to offer him a scholarship, but we still need to get something for him as far as points go. Hopefully we'll get enough points when we get a few people to commit to us. And we have free safety Shakir Pitts, who's still number 1 on our list. Still looks like the miles ahead of Purdue, but again, there's plenty of season left to play, plenty of recruiting to go around. And the one person I was really glad to not only just fully scout, but able to offer scholarship and throw the house at him is Alfonso Heap. We're still number 10, but hopefully we'll move up to his list at the end of the week. Strong safety Mitch Cheeks has now put Miami of Ohio ahead of us, so this is getting a little bit concerning here. I mean, we're close to being his top 3. However, we kind of want to try to get something going, try to get him a visit, maybe be able to throw the house or sell the house to him, because we need to get a good strong safety as much as we can. And last but not least, we have Brad Dalton, our punter. I don't think we're in any danger of losing him to Purdue, but who knows how these go. So that is all our recruiting for this extended recruiting episode, because we had that bye week.
And that will do it for this recruiting episode. When we pick up next time, we will have our homecoming game, which is actually Indiana's homecoming game in real life, hosting the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Can the Hoosiers get their first Big Ten win of the season in homecoming? Well, post your score predictions to see how things will go. And that will do it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to this channel, as well as hit the bell icon to get notifications when these videos do drop. And also don't forget to hit the bell or share this video, as it will help with the algorithm. I'm glad to get back to some content here for this series, as well as my MLB The Show playthrough season, which we are in the middle of the division series right now. I'm trying to figure out how I can do better recruiting video for recruiting update number 4. That is still yet to be filmed, but I know I got the Nebraska and Washington games already recorded. So with that, you guys take care. Peace out, Pies on. Stay safe, everyone.